You know what they say about failure being the stepping stone to success? But what if I told you about a man who didn't just stumble a few times, but fell flat on his face 100 times before finally catching his break? This isn't some motivational fairy tale. This is the jaw-dropping real story of persistence that will completely change how you think about giving up. Picture this, a young man in his 20s, fresh out of college, ready to conquer the world. He had dreams bigger than his bank account and confidence that could fill a stadium, but life had other plans. His first business venture? Complete disaster. His second attempt? Even worse. By the time he hit failure number 10, his friends started giving him that look. You know the one. Like maybe it was time to get a regular job and call it quits. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people would have thrown in the towel after 5 failures, maybe 10 if they're really stubborn. This guy, he kept a journal. Every single failure was documented with painful detail, the missed opportunities, the bad decisions, the doors slammed in his face. Page after page of rejection letters, failed partnerships, and business ideas that crashed and burned. What's absolutely mind-blowing is that by failure number 50, he had developed this almost supernatural ability to predict what would go wrong. He could smell a bad investment from miles away, spot a dishonest partner in the first meeting, and identify market problems before they became disasters. Each failure was like adding another tool to his arsenal, another lesson carved into his brain through pure, brutal experience. The crazy part? His family thought he had lost his mind. His wife threatened to leave him twice. His children grew up watching their father disappear into his office every morning, emerging hours later with either crushing disappointment or manic excitement about the next big idea. Christmas dinners became awkward affairs where relatives would whisper about the family member who just couldn't seem to figure it out. By failure number 75, something shifted. The rejections stopped stinging as much. The setbacks became data points rather than personal attacks. He had developed what psychologists call failure immunity, the ability to bounce back faster and stronger each time. Where others saw obstacles, he started seeing puzzles to solve. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Failure number 96 was different. It wasn't a complete disaster like the others. It was close, tantalizingly close. He had built a product that people actually wanted, found investors who believed in him, and assembled a team that shared his vision. But a competitor launched first, stealing his thunder and leaving him with nothing but another expensive lesson. That near miss hit harder than all the previous failures combined. This wasn't about a bad idea or poor execution. This was about timing, luck, and forces beyond his control. For the first time in decades, he seriously considered quitting. The journal entry for failure 96 was just 3 words. Maybe they're right. Failures 97, 98, and 99 came in rapid succession over the next 18 months. Each one felt like the universe personally conspiring against him. But something remarkable had happened during all those years of falling down and getting back up. He had built an almost supernatural network of relationships. All those people who had rejected him, who had said no to his ideas, who had watched him fail, they remembered him. And then came attempt number 101. It started like all the others, another idea, another pitch, another chance to add to his collection of failures. But this time, when he walked into that conference room, something was different. The investors didn't just see another desperate entrepreneur with a wild idea. They saw a man who had been tested by fire 100 times and was still standing. They saw someone who understood failure so intimately that he could navigate around it like a seasoned captain avoiding hidden reefs. The product launched 6 months later and became an overnight sensation. But here's what the success stories never tell you. It wasn't overnight at all. It was the result of 100 painful lessons compressed into one perfect moment of opportunity meeting preparation. Today, when reporters ask him about his sudden success, he pulls out that weathered journal filled with documented failures. This, he says, holding up the thick notebook, this is my real business degree. Every page represents a mistake I'll never make again, a trap I learned to spot, a weakness I turned into strength. The most incredible part of this story isn't that he succeeded after 100 failures. It's that each failure was essential. Remove any single one of those defeats, and the final victory becomes impossible. Every rejection letter, every bankruptcy, every moment of crushing disappointment was actually building the foundation for something extraordinary. So the next time you're facing your 3rd failure, or your 10th, or your 50th, remember this story. Remember that somewhere out there is someone who failed 99 more times than you have and still found a way to win. Your failures aren't roadblocks. They're construction materials for the success that's waiting for you on the other side of persistence.